Hello, this is that creepy bald guy known as Martial Horror, and it seems my theme song has taken a vacation this week. So I have to introduce you all to this again. I critique the critics, and today's subject, Shitcase cinema.
Oh, Shitcase cinema. On the Shitcase cinema. Oh, it's the Shitcase cinema.
Shitcase Cinema is a caustic critic web series where some British guy named John reviews bad movies, usually from the 80s and 90s, but where there is plenty of exceptions to that timeline. From obscure to popular, he nitpicks the hell out of them, and sometimes he even reviews good movies, nitpicking them too. Which brings us to red flag number 3. Shitcase Cinema might not be for you, if you're adamantly against caustic critics. He has, however, pointed out that the show isn't meant to be taken seriously. I actually always thought that was kind of obvious.
So if you're perhaps thinking this is going to be a carbon copy of Puppet Master, then you're pretty much correct. Although it's not quite as entertaining, nor does it have a dead guy walking around, weirdo sidekicks, the slug man, evil Nazis. Actually, it's nothing like Puppet Master. I mean, there's shit, and this is just shit.
In a way, his style is parallel to the cinema snobs, and that he's very tongue-in-cheek, and that if you're taking him too seriously, it's only because he's that damn good in his delivery. With the snob, though, his review show focused on the character, and the humor was derived from that. He's playing a snob, and you laugh at the fact that he's reviewing some really lowbrow shit. With Shitcase Cinema, though, it's the opposite. I think his brand of humor is what drives the character. So I'm listing his priority as the humor. And Shitcase Cinema really relies on its brand of humor. So if you don't think he's funny, you probably won't like him. I also presume many of you are thinking, ugh, not another caustic critic. But one thing I really like about Shitcase Cinema is that even though he's nitpicking, instead of just tearing into the material, he's just riffing it. He's roasting it. He doesn't appear to get very angry at these movies, no matter how bad they are, and instead just seems amused at how bad they are. When he's riffing good movies, he's usually affectionate in his jabs. Now, why does it work for him and not Game Dude, who also stresses that his nitpicking is not meant to be taken seriously? I believe it's because Game Dude really does seem pissed off about it, and it just makes it seem like full-on critical nitpicking. Whereas with Shitcase Cinema, it's much more lighthearted, much more amusing, so it's hard for me to ever take him seriously in that vein, and he's obviously not meant to be taken seriously. I'm surprised that anybody would even think that he is supposed to be taken seriously. Now, this might be a stretch on my part, but often I feel like Shitcase Cinema might be a satire on caustic critics. But I'll wait until later for that. It's not always easy to tell if somebody's doing a tongue-in-cheek joke, so you might miss the point. The easier kind of humor comes from guys like the Nostalgia Critic, whose humor is very traditional. It's very cut and dry. The jokes, funny or not, are easy to point out. But with Shitcase Cinema and the Cinema Snob, the humor is more implied than downright stated. The result is that I have to issue red flag number 4. You might not understand the jokes. But remember that red flags are warnings, not criticisms, and I found Shitcase Cinema to be pretty funny myself.
So where's the horror in this then? Well, here you go, a cop taking a piss on a grave. Now predictably a hand comes out of the ground, grabs him between the legs and pulls him into the ground. Now that's what I'm talking about. I love how the cops see this and still wonder where he's gone.
Where the fuck did he go?
Stupid pigs. And then the next natural progression is to shoot a gravestone. Why?
But giving examples of his humor is a complete bitch on its own, as most of the funnier bits only can be understood if you know the context, which often embodies large chunks of the full review. So, shit. He does offer some skit-oriented humor, which brings us to red flag number 5. The skits aren't necessary, sometimes even being flat out of place, but they're more funny than not, I think, so I could live with them.
Hi, welcome to Shitcase Cinema. Now you're probably wondering why I'm talking like this. It's because we've left the Shitcase Cinema HQ and we're out here in the jungle. We're trying to find some dinosaurs. If you take a look over there, we can see some, and yeah, they're really fake and rubber looking. Oh, do you see that? This is truly remarkable to be so close to such fake looking plastic rubber toy dinosaurs. It truly is absolutely amazing. But you've got to be very careful and keep your voice down. Otherwise, oh shit! Run away, run away. You know, I think that fake dinosaur almost got us there, but I think it's safer to go back to Shitcase HQ and review a shitty film where we can just see fake rubber dinosaurs there. It's a lot safer, so let's go.
He'll also rely on sarcasm, and sometimes his reviews will be more comical commentary than actual reviews. Personally, I still think that whether intentional or not, Shitcase Cinema is the kind of satire on caustic critics. Pointless skits, unreasonable criticisms, constant nitpicking. Just the way it's delivered screams satire to me. But then again, I tend to think Demons and Cobra are satires too, and I'm pretty much alone there. Even if it is unintentional though, that just means his mistakes won't be quite as embarrassing. In fact, the possibility of him being a satire just creates cushions for the mistakes to fall back on. Which leads us to the character, or characters really. Here is how John is described from his YouTube page. John is a wannabe 80s macho hero, who drinks all day and goes crazy at the slightest little annoying scene from a film. You don't see too much of the character really, only tipping its hat in this direction when the style of humor permits it. He is very amusing, sometimes even being witty. He's often joined by Professor Bruce, who somehow brings science into the mix, probably spoofing how unscientific the science was in the 80s movies, and he's obviously played up to be a hack. Props to the actor for playing him with a really straight face. Even when John is obviously trying to fight cracking up, Professor Bruce really is holding its own. He's taking the role seriously, it feels like, even though he's obviously not. He's not necessary, but I think he works, and I think that both of these guys have great chemistry and are really fun to watch together. Honestly, though, I've probably overblown this part for the priorities. As I said, both really create characters simply so the style of humor can hopefully be funnier. It should be noted that earlier videos do stress these characters more than later ones. Now, you don't want to watch this for the information or critiquing. Sometimes he actually can be insightful, offering good criticisms and some nifty information. This is especially apparent in his 3-year anniversary video, where he praises movies he likes.
Usual Suspects. This film has an amazingly complex plot with so many twists, wonderful characters played by superb actors, and you just notice new things every time you sit down and watch it. Jaws. Now people always instantly go, but the shark looks so fake, which always annoys me, but it's a brilliant film. It's got excellent characters with real depth. Just please look past the fake shark at the end. It's a terrifying moment that still makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. The Godfather. It's an epic masterpiece of storytelling and filmmaking at its best. It's just fascinating to watch. Jurassic Park. This is a landmark of a film in many aspects, and it's just one of the most entertaining movies to have ever been made, with scene after scene of classic moments. The Thing. Now, being a huge John Carpenter fan, which I've made no secret about in the past, this is my top horror film ever, but it also sits at home in my overall top 10. Its story, the scares, the atmosphere, the mood, it's just all perfect. Plus it's got Kurt fucking Russell in it.
For the most part, they're also only there to benefit the style of humor. So if he does say something that is very insightful or very intriguing in terms of criticism, it's usually very incidental. Sometimes the information is intentionally wrong for the sake of a chuckle. On the slight downside, his redundant word use can be redundantly redundant at times. You often hear him use words like goon, mental, crap, and shit. It's fine, but occasionally they appear too much in one video. As for the technicals, they're fine. The audio, video, and editing are just, well, fine. Nothing sticks out as great, but nothing is bad either. They won't leave an impression at all. His earlier videos had some really shoddy and rough production values, but they've improved, so I would recommend starting with his newer videos and then just working back. Also, the videos tend to be around 10 minutes long. Thank God. Let us pray that they don't hop on the longer means better train of thought bandwagon that seems to be dominating the video review world these days. Ugh. So Shitcase Cinema to me is a typical 3-star reviewer. In traditional 3-star fashion, I give this rating because it rides on you liking the sense of humor. If you don't, you'll just find his work to be boring. Everything else is there to serve that. Usually I'd post clips and ask you, does this make you laugh? But his style of humor isn't easy to pin down into a clip without ruining the joke. But that's not going to stop me from trying.
So, Leviathan is set underwater. Think the Abyss. Now here's the underwater mining team. Doesn't really look like they're in water though, does it? Ooh, a fake fish. Sorry, they must be underwater. If you look at this artwork here, you know for a fact that he's a naturally very rounded and versatile guy. Happy, sad, depressed, joy, anger, and the best for last, his pulling face. Well, hello there. Fancy sharing a drink with a miserable twat like me? No? Grrr!
To appreciate it, you have to know the context, so I'm going to have to do something that I had never planned on doing for a 3-star reviewer. I'm going to suggest that you all check out at least 1 or 2 of his videos from him, regardless of what I say, and make your own damn decisions. So I'm a big fan of Shitcase Cinema, and I'm recommending him to anybody who likes bad movie reviews. If you like guys like the Cinema Snob or Moronic Mark, he's definitely for you. If you want to watch his videos, just check the links in my description. My name is Marshall Horror, and I'm here to tell you that those who cannot do, critique.